We've heard about energy exchange, haven't we? Yes. We know we're energy. When I was working with a spirit about this, they showed me one thing that was very interesting. In our world, in the world that we live in, we have the capacity to turn energy off, don't we? We go to the switch, lights are off, energy's silent, turn our cars off. Anything that has energy in our world, we can just flip the switch and it's off. That's not true of us. We cannot turn our energy off. We are energy beings, so we are vibrating all the time. No wonder you get so tired, right? That's why we need to be fed. That's why we need to be regenerated. But we are always vibrating, so we're always giving out a frequency. You know, when you think you're turning your energy off, you're not. Even when you think you put up a big wall and you're going to turn away and act like you don't care, you're still giving off energy. So take a breath. There's no hiding. Understanding energy exchange. Let's just begin with knowing that we breathe it in, we breathe it out. It is a part of us. We're a part of this universal flow. What we receive is always based on what we give. But how do we look at ourselves energetically? Okay, I'm going to ask every one of you now to go into your wallet or your purse, and I'm going to ask you to get out a bill or a debit card if you choose not to carry money, and hold it. I see little resistance, but not much. Everybody's digging. What you got, Pat?
I got thousands of dollars.
Excellent. We're not passing the basket. This is not a setup. Okay. So you've got your bill? Does everybody have something? Debit card, piece of paper. All right. This is your energy. Are you aware of that? This represents something you have given to the world. And the world has given you back this piece of paper that says, thanks for the energy. And then you're going to take this energy and you're going to give it to someone else. Do you understand? Energy exchange. Everybody really clear? I got that. This is my energy. The problem with us is we tend to measure our value based on this. We measure the value of who we are based on the uninvested energy in our hand. But I want you to hear me. This is uninvested energy. Do you understand? And how many of us think that we have a limited energy at our disposal? Look at the energy. This is my energy. Can you feel it? Breathe it in. Don't put it too far away. We will be passing the basket. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. We measure our energy. We measure our energy. And when we measure our energy, what are we doing to it? We're limiting it. All right? There are so many other things in our world that show us our energy. Does anybody have a beautiful home? Does anybody have beautiful things? Does anybody have a beautiful relationship?
Yes.
Beautiful children?
Yes.
They are all reflections of the energy that you give out. Are you aware of that? Do you ever think, well, I don't have very much of these, but boy, I've got a great partner. Boy, I've got an awesome kid. Boy, I'm happy. I got great food. Do you know what I'm saying? So there are many things in our world that give us visual points of measurement of the energy that we give. But what we are missing is we cannot see the unmeasurable energy that we give. That energy that's flowing out on a great spiritual level. We can't measure that. And yet we look at this and go, gosh, holy mackerel, I'm so little. Do we know? I'm so little. I've only been given this much back. But is it the totality? No. Energy exchange, we need to begin to really understand how we give energy to the world and how open we are to receive it in return. Everybody breathe. Spirit said, how you define your energy governs your flow. If you define your energy as, we'll get this one out now. $1 If we define our energy as small, it governs our flow. If we define our energy by the physical, it governs our flow. If we define our energy by the universal, how magnificently can we flow? Okay. All right. I wanted to talk to you about probably one of the most difficult lessons that Jesus gave in the Aquarian Gospel and in the New Testament. This is the last week of his walk on earth. And it is in the Aquarian, chapter 153. And I'll bring you up to speed. I think you'll remember it if any of you have had any Bible at all. Jesus is walking with his disciples to the synagogue. He's going to teach. This is his last week on earth, and the Aquarian tells us it's Tuesday. We know what's going to happen on Friday. So he crosses a plant, a fig tree, and it is flourishing. It's beautiful. It's got beautiful leaves. It's lush and dynamic, but it's got zero fruit. And he says to the fig tree, you know what? You're worthless right now. So, you've been taking up a lot of energy, so you go back to Mother Earth and feed her. Give back what you've been taking. Boom. And it reads very harshly, no matter which text you're looking at it. It reads like, whoa, that doesn't sound like Jesus cursing that plant to the earth. The next day, they walk by, and one of the disciples says, look, the plant you talked to yesterday is withered and died. And he said, yes. He says something akin to this. When you take energy that is self-serving, you have to give back. And when all of the energy that you take only goes as far as your self-interest, there is a time when you must give up all to give back to that which you have been receiving. And the plant represented a life where nothing was given outside of self. There was no fruit. I can be beautiful and dazzling and have all the luscious leaves possible, but until I give fruit that I can share with my brother man or with my whatever, I am calling forth energy and receiving it, and it is only sustaining my personal interests. Are you all with me on this?
Yes.
Do you know how many people who gather their worth by this matter feel they must take all the energy that comes to them and use it to sustain their personal value? Can you give to our little event? No, 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 I have to sustain that which is of interest to me. Can you come and volunteer? No, no, my children need me to help them with homework. Do you see? And what you're doing is great for you. It's great for your children. It's great for your home. It's great for your spouse. It's great for your employer. But there comes a time when the fruit has to go beyond what is keeping you safe, what is making you secure in your world. It's a tough one, isn't it? Because we want to give to our own people. We want to give to our own homes and our own families. But there comes a time when the fruit has to go beyond us. Getting it? All right. Then he says, you're going to have to give back eventually. It's energy exchange. Oh, my glasses just broke. Huh. No, I think I shall try to read without them.
You want me to hold it?
She's Barbara's back. All right. God can do nothing more for men than they would do for other men. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Depends on what mood you're in when you read that. Uh-oh. God can do nothing more for men than they would do for other men. We hear and we know God will reach you exactly where you are in consciousness. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter what you're dealing with. God, our Creator, is one with you. Right there in a heartbeat, the minute you say God, boom, you can feel God's presence. But what can God bring into your world can only be based on what you have given out of your world. Do you hear? God meets you at your level of consciousness. God cannot meet you at that miracle high level that you want to be met at when you are not living there. He meets you where you are and then begins to lift you up and lift you up. In the same lesson, this is what Jesus says to his disciples. God hears the prayer of faith, and you can demonstrate the power of God. Have faith, and you can bid the mountains to depart, and they will crumble at your feet. And you will talk to the winds and the waves, and they will hear and obey what you command. Ask with an open heart, and do not come to God with anything that harbors ill will. He is not saying you are limited. He is saying you are unlimited. If you can gather the faith and give back that which you have received, mountains will move. If you are receiving the universal flow of God, and you give that universal flow of God, the mountains will move. Now, if I am receiving that beautiful flow of God and I'm giving that beautiful flow of God, am I going to call forth a mountain to move just so you guys can see I can? Am I going to call forth a mountain to move because I'm bored and I need to watch some dirt fall? You know? No. Because I am not in the consciousness of only calling forth that which serves me and my world. You see? Energy exchange. What you give returns to you. It is a law. What you give comes back to you. How you define your value determines what you give. How many of you have walked away from a divine appointment because you're not worthy? God said, hey, I need some help over here, and you went, oh, no, you ready. I got my $1 bill, and I need to go make another one. You know?
Yeah.
Get a saint over there. God, you need a saint to handle that, because I am not there yet. You know? And we walk away. When the opportunity was ours. It was ours to give back of the wealth of love that comes to us. And you know, those moments are amazing. They're amazing. Have you not asked God for a miracle in your world? Has God not met you right where you are? And said, come on, we need you up just a little bit higher if you want that miracle you're asking for. Come on. Give you little miracles. But if you want that big one, we need to lift you up to where you can receive it. You know? But the kick about being one with that universal flow, learning to be that divine light, learning to bring in God love, you have to also learn to fruit, to give. And it can be the most wonderful, simple little thing in the world. They reminded me of a fun opportunity that I had to give back. We were on our trip to Scotland, the second trip, a couple years ago. And we just happened to go by Rosslyn Chapel. It was fun, had some time to kill. And, you know, we were traveling with another couple and they wanted to go there. And it was like, yes, let's do this. Let's go there. And so we did the tour and it was wonderful. The energy is fabulous. And the tour guide of the facility said, now there are 2 ley lines that meet right here in the center of this aisle. Ley lines that go all the way around the world. This is pretty cool. All the way this way, all the way this way. They meet right here. Well, that's pretty cool. Don't you know I was up as soon as she was finished. And I found them. And it wasn't exactly where she said it was. It was over here just a little bit, because you know our earth shifts and changes. So when I found it, it was like, oh my God, you guys, look, it's right here. Come and feel it. So everybody's in our party standing on the ley lines, feeling energy. And then there's a little boy, and I'm so blessed. I get to teach him how to do it. Come on. This is how you do it. See, feel the energy here. Now feel the energy here. See how awesome that is? And so he's doing it. And then his mama's doing it. Then we look up. There's a whole line waiting to do it. And I'm in heaven. I am absolutely in heaven to be able to share what I know. Just blissed out to the max. And then I'm just so like happy and all these people are waiting. And then Spirit says very clearly, now the 4 of you and Patrick, Susan and Mike, the 4 of you need to get back on that ley line and you need to send love straight into the earth and let it go this way and let it go this way. I almost tore people out of line to get there. How powerful was that? How powerful to be able to give back for all the love I have received in all of my walk, all the little things. I got to stand on a spot where the earth's energy meets, and I got to send God love into it. Wow. And who knew that? Who knew it? Did anybody get out of the Richter scale and say, oh, Cindy, on the plus side of your good deeds, we've got this going on? That's something you can't measure. That's something no one ever knows about. But the impact to Mother Earth. We had 2 men and 2 women. Balanced energy. Can you feel it? When we are ready to receive, which we all say we are. Don't we all say we're ready to receive the guidance of the universe? We're ready to receive the bounty. All the universe has, I open now to receive, and I'm ready to bring it into my consciousness, and I'm going to prosper and be delightful and be positive and be all these things. We have to give back. All that we receive, we have to give back. And we have to be willing to do that, and we have to be willing to do that and not be recognized. Because if we need to be recognized, who am I doing it for? My world. My little world. I could have texted it. I could have put out an APB somewhere. I guess they don't do that much anymore. You know? Anything, you know? Yeah.
Instagram.
Instagram. Yeah. Do you see? But it was for God. It was for my brothers and sisters. And what Spirit was really clear about, until we learn to have an energy exchange with the universe, we can never move into brotherhood. We just can't. Because if it's all about me creating a good world for me, and that's great, we all need that. We all need to do that, especially when we're younger. We have to do it to prove we can, you know? Then we start branching out, branching out, branching out, you know? Until I am content with what can flow to me, and until the universe now can flow through me, I really can never know my brothers. Because they're just outside my circle. And this is the era we're moving into. We're really moving into a space and a time where we need to realize we're all God's children. I don't care what our faith is. We all know that. Divinity is within us all. We're all God's children. Doesn't matter what you choose to believe. You're still a child of God. And if we want to walk that greater energy exchange, we need to lift ourselves up just a tish. Sound easy, doesn't it? All right. There are so many ways to become aware of your energy. When I was in corporate, I was in metaphysics at the time because I was working part-time corporate, going to school, getting myself through school. I came to realize that it was my energy that my boss was buying, not my tasks. Because I came through being a workaholic. And I, at this point, realized that I had worked for eons, for hours. I mean, any place I ever worked, it took 3 people to replace me, and I'm not kidding. I worked that hard. And I was coming into this space of understanding that kind of energy does not serve me. I need to really look at what am I giving? And I got really clear. I'm bringing my light to this guy, this man that I'd worked for before. We knew each other very well. I'm bringing my light to him. It's not just the dollar I get from him. I'm bringing beautiful energy to him. I ended up counseling all of his employees before they jumped off cliffs, and I brought them back down. He actually loved people that looked good. And you know, if you've ever done accounting, at the end of the day, you look scraggly. Your hair's all pulled out, makeup's melted. I literally scheduled makeup breaks to honor him. You want my energy? You want my energy looking good? I will go fix my makeup every couple of hours, comb my hair, as a part of my job, as a part of my bringing energy. And so as I would take my paycheck home, this is the energy of dollars that I'm receiving to help put food on the table for me and my son. However, there is so much more coming back to me because I gave so much more when I was there. And I would call it forth from the universe. Thank you, God, that everything that I give is now returning to me. Not just those little dollars and cents. Everything. And I never lacked for a thing. We never lacked for a thing. Ever, ever, ever. And my famous story that one time when I didn't have tuition for school and didn't know it, I hadn't done my bills yet. My mother called. She said, I need to give you $200. God told me to. I said, you don't need to give me any money. At the time, $200 was a lot of money. I said, you don't need to give me any money. She said, yes, I do. God told me to. And he said, give you $200. I said, oh, Mom, no, don't worry about it. Hung up the phone, did my bills. I was $200 short on tuition. I called her back, yeah, thanks for that $200. And of course, I've repaid her many times over since then. Repaid many times over. But what if I had said, this is all I have? What if I had said, this is my little value? Oh, I don't have enough of these, God. Oh, my boss didn't pay me what I brought. What does that do to you? Does everybody know what I'm talking about? Do you know that feeling? Did your solar plexus just get tight and just go, oh, I think I might get sick? That's what we do to ourselves when we call ourselves by this. This is what we do to ourselves. When we are knowing what we are giving and choosing how we express, we can link to that universal flow. I'm going to tell you one more little thing because I know you need to know this. This is kind of a sideline. The one thing that will trip you up in receiving and maintaining the idea that you are a universal child of God is your relationships. If you have a partner who sometimes gets tired and gets cranky when they're hungry and hasn't eaten for 6 hours and decides that you have done something outside of their protocol, sometimes they can get snippy. And our MO, all of us, is to explain immediately to that partner how we have great intentions. We didn't mean to hurt or harm. They just missed the goodness we were bringing, and they need to see that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did.
And then your partner escalates because they're still hungry, and they have not been fed, and you are vastly in disarray with their protocol. And now we have something less than universal flow. Less than universal. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. And then the next couple of days, we wonder why everybody's picking at us. What did we get? Or everybody's on to us because you always have to be right. You always have to be right. Does anybody get that? Our testing ground is our relationships. It's our testing ground. If we can realize and maintain the idea, I am God's precious child, I have beautiful energy, and so does my partner. And if my partner happens to be cranky and hungry, or whatever's up with them, they're just not able to receive my vast energy in the moment. That's okay. God meets them where they are. Do I have to go there? Whose child are they? They're God's child. God, meet him where he is. I'm going over here. Not in a mean way, not in a harsh way. And he could say the same of me. Lord, take care of her where she is, because I don't have time. Maintaining the awareness of love. Maintaining the awareness that everything is bigger than this moment. God is bigger than this moment. Breathing in, passing. Passing the idea that I am this. Rising above the idea that my partner reflects my totality. My partner does not reflect my totality. They're my partner. They're my playmate. They came to help me. I am still open to the greater good of God, no matter what my partner's doing. I am beyond this. I am beyond everything that can be measured. And I am willing to give fruit back. Take your bill, or your debit card, or whatever it was. I told you not to put it away. Okay, ready? Got something in your hands? Okay, repeat after me if you are ready to do so. You do not have to do so, and I will not point you out. I am bigger than my paycheck.
I am bigger than my paycheck.
I am bigger than the substance I can measure.
I am bigger than the substance I can measure.
And I am not afraid of being a universal channel.
And I am not afraid of being a universal channel.
I want you to keep holding it in your hands. And let's just shut our eyes and just feel that beautiful love of God. Just hold it in your hands. And as we feel that God love, do you feel it going into your hands? Can you feel the light of God pouring into your hands right now? Say yes if you can.
Yes.
God, we ask that you charge this substance in the outer with your presence. We acknowledge this is our energy that has yet been reinvested in the world. And we acknowledge that you were definitely a part of that. We want to be open to receive, and we want to be open to give greater, to be part of that universal flow. And as you feel the light pouring into your hands, just gently put it in your lap. We're going to let God continue to charge it. And I want you to open your heart. Father, Mother God, we ask that your love just descend on each one. We ask that a beautiful spirit of enlightenment move through us. And let us feel that greatness. And I would ask you just to imagine a beautiful light that's pouring through you and feel your energy. Feel it in motion. Realize you cannot measure it by cups and feet. This is a life force in motion. And I want you to think of a situation that you've been concerned about, maybe your house, maybe a business, maybe a partner, just a situation. I want you to take a big breath, and we're going to send love, send your energy, your love to that situation. Just let it go. Send it out. And did you feel your energy just moving to engulf it? And now check your energy field. Is it any less? It is no less. Feel the God love continuing to fill you. As I give, I will receive. I am air. I am God's child. I breathe in God light. And I am not afraid of the fruit this will bear. Feel that beautiful love going through you. You can talk to mountains and they will crumble. You can talk to the wind and it will still. You are the child of God. If you are willing and ready, just ask to be lifted into a higher space. For you are greater than you can measure. And God, we love you and we send our love back to you now. Take a breath, just in your heart, send God love. Thank you so. And this circle is complete. We do love you, God. And so. And just breathe and open your eyes. Take your piece of paper and put it back in your wallet. And I hope next time you touch that, you think, this represents what I have given to you. This represents my energy. Energy exchange. God's still clear?
Yes.
Are you ready to go out and be bigger?
Yes.
All right, yay God.